If I could go back and start content creation all over again, and I'm talking from scratch, this is exactly what I would do to grow faster, be more intentional with my online presence, as well as growing it so that it is sustainable long term. When I started creating content, I wouldn't say I was overwhelmed, but I was very much shy about the whole thing. I wanted to keep it under wraps. It was my little side hustle. I didn't want anybody to know about it. Of course, I showed up and treated it like it was a side hustle. I was very inconsistent. I was just clueless about what I was doing, and I remained clueless for a really long time. I just figured myself, I'm a good person, everything would click, everything will fall into place. It took a very long time for things to click. It didn't click by chance. It didn't click with hope and vibes. It clicked because I was intentional with what I wanted to do. Let's talk about some of my struggles and exactly what I would do. First big thing that I would do, because I was so inconsistent when it comes to growing my online presence, find a workflow that works for me in my lifestyle. When I started creating content, I was in university, so I didn't really have that much time, but I really wasn't intentional with my time at all. I didn't even know that was a thing. I would be very much intentional with my time, create a structured weekly workflow that will allow me to create consistently and show up consistently. The output that I want out of my workflow would have been 1 YouTube video, 5 or 6 shorts if I can on a weekly basis, as well as showing up in my stories on Instagram. I wouldn't overcomplicate this whole thing if I started all over again today. 1 YouTube video, 5 shorts, and show up in my stories and just really talk about who I am so that I can build my audience. Number 1 will be a consistent workflow. And how would I do that? I would batch create. And I know you hear about it all the time. The reason why people suggest it is because it works. I will break everything that I need to do into small chunks. Monday, I would plan my video. Tuesday, I would script the videos. Wednesday, I would batch record. Thursday, I would edit. Friday, I would schedule, and I would have free weekends. If you do work your 9 to 5, sometimes you have to do things on the weekends. That's what I did for a number of years. Either way, I would find a workflow that works for me. Number 2, I would be very intentional with the audience that I want to grow. By that, as I show up consistently, of course, and create content around a certain topic, eventually attract the right person. Let me take a selfie, let me post a selfie, and it's all about me type thing. And I'm not saying that's what I did. I definitely showed up from the perspective of how can I help someone with their natural hair. And I like to argue this is the reason why I built such a strong community, such a large platform around natural hair, because I showed up very intentionally on who I wanted to help. So yeah, I will do the same thing again, girl, so that I understand what they're struggling with and create content around their pain points and their struggles. You really want to make them feel like they are part of your inner circle, which I do that very well because I have been creating for a really long time. And when I started creating, I was very iffy on the monetization piece, but I was very happy and welcoming of the community aspect. Having a loyal, engaged community, you can do so much with it. So I'll definitely focus on growing my audience from a community standpoint. What are they struggling with? How can I help them? How can we kumbaya together? The third piece is I would focus on monetizing the audience. Yes, right away. I know it took me forever to wrap my mind around making money online and being comfortable with it, because it was my side hustle, because it was something that I was very uncomfortable charging and talking about money, and I just felt like really iffy about the whole thing. Oh my God, the mindset that I had to go through to be comfortable with monetizing my audience when it's so much work. I was putting in so much work for years, for a decade, before I was like, hang on, maybe I should monetize this thing. But I would definitely start by putting the proper monetization piece in place, because as my audience grow, will the monetization piece just naturally. I will focus on affiliate links, for example, as I'm talking about product, link them. I will focus on creating digital products around the pain point of my audience. If you know the answer to someone's problem, package it up, girl. It doesn't have to be something crazy. It could be like a mini course. It could be an ebook. It could be a template, depending on what you know and your knowledge. But I would definitely package that. And it's something that I'm very passionate about now. A lot of creators burn out because they just don't know how to monetize their audience. I would definitely focus on that, or even launch a small paid community. Back then, when I started creating content, paid communities were the thing. They definitely flourished now over the past, say, 4 or 5 years, since the pandemic for sure. Now you're probably thinking, well, I'm a small creator. Why would I have a paid community? But listen, if you have 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, but yet you have 100 people in your community, you have some recurring revenue that will keep you afloat. At least you won't be so stressed showing up online. Also, when it comes to the monetization piece, there is so much to learn, which is why we'll start right away. Learning funnels, how to get traffic onto your offers or packaging your offers, packaging your knowledge. There's just so much to learn that I will start right away so that you can work out the kinks, figure things out as you grow your audience. So then when you have the traffic source, which is your audience, you can just direct them to your offerings. Things will seamlessly work that way versus growing the audience and then not knowing what to do with it, which is where I was a few years ago. Number 4 is investing in me. So as my audience is growing, maybe I'm making a little money here or there, I will take that and reinvest it back into the business. I did that as well when I started making money online because I've realized, okay, there is a lot to do. I need to figure out how I want to leverage the income that I was making. Very intentional with investing in myself. What skills do I need to learn? If I want to work with brands, do I need to take a course on how to negotiate with brands? You know, the whole workflow with working with brands. It's not just show up, not know what you're doing, let brands take advantage of you, because there is the piece of, yeah, brands are lowballing you and they're not offering you what you are worth. Are we knowledgeable enough to say, that's not what I'm worth. This is what I charge. If I need to get a course or be part of those paid communities, whatever that is, I would do what I need to do just to be in the rooms where these conversations are happening. Being a content creator can be very lonely, trying to navigate this space and figuring out where do I go, what do I do. It's definitely something that can be stressful to navigate. You really don't know what you're doing, where you want to go, what is even possible. And that is the reason why I launched my coaching program to help new and inspiring creators really navigate the space. And basically, you're paying for speed. You're paying to figure out, how do I show up in this space confidently? What is possible in this space? And how can I achieve what I want to achieve based on the lifestyle that I want to live? I am very passionate about what I do, and I love my clients. I love my students. Seeing their progress is something that just brings me so much joy. And it's something that I wish I had done earlier enough in my career so that I could get the speed and the momentum that I needed to go. We can't talk about a video like that without mentioning the mindset piece. That is another thing that I would invest. Make sure that I work on very early on. It took me way too many years to get over the mindset block that I had around, for example, charging and just conversation around money. It is stemmed from my childhood. I saw my parents fight about money my entire life. I really developed this negative association when it comes to money. So it was a very uncomfortable thing for me. I really had to deal with it in therapy, and I'm still working on the whole thing around money. Like, I used to see it as such a dirty thing. It's the root of all evil, etc., etc. All the things that we tell ourselves. I really had to work on my mindset, and I would do the same thing if I started all over again. Entrepreneurship will reveal pieces of you, insecurities that you have that you didn't even know you had. Definitely make sure that the mindset is strong so that I'm able to handle all the different pieces of my life, especially if you're in school or if you're working your 9 to 5 and you're trying to get into content creation. Developing healthy habits as well as mastering your mindset is a non-negotiable. And also, the strength of your mindset directly impacts your ability to stay consistent, to be confident or resilient in this space. Also, your ability to make this space profitable for you. Therapy and coaching got me straight. The last thing that I would focus on, I will start to delegate. Now, like I said at the very beginning, motivation, we don't know her. Systems are important. As you work on building systems around the things that you're doing, if you're doing something more than twice, you should start working on how you can systemize the process, or at least document the process, that when the time comes, you can delegate it, but it's all documented. If someone comes into your business and they're helping you with something specific, the documentation is already there. Make sure that I think about delegation early on, and the things that I don't need to be doing, I can delegate that. I can create systems around that. I use my time where it matters the most in my business, which will be content creation, which would be the monetization piece. And like I said, sharpening your skills is important. Maybe I need to learn about marketing and sales, which is so important in business. Maybe invest in my education. So if I'm taking a course or something, the business is still running in the back end or in the front end. Delegating is very important. I think that's something that a lot of influencers don't think about. As you do things, you feel like, I can only do it right. It's not done right unless I do it. So you just keep piling things on your plate, and then you're burning out and you don't understand why. You're just not creative. It's because you are bogged down by all the little things in your business that you could be delegating. If I had to start all over again, that is exactly how I would do it. I would focus on audience growth, giving value versus a selfie type culture. I will focus on the monetization piece, which include learning about marketing and sales, creating these funnels, creating offers, creating resources for my audience. Finally, I'm just really recapping the video right now. Once I figure something out, once I have systems around what I'm doing, I will delegate it, girl. Why did I spend decades editing my own videos? I loved editing. Don't get me wrong. It's really one of those things where I feel like I can get very creative in the edits. But is that really something that I need to know in my business? And especially right now, is it something that I need to keep doing within my business just because I'm good at it? No, I don't want to be the world's best video editor. I want to be the person that impacts other people's lives by helping them build their own businesses, free up their own time, and live the lifestyle that they desire. Oh, Jennifer, you make me so proud. Which one of these steps resonated with you? If you're starting your journey right now, what are the things that you want to take with you and implement? Learning is all good and dandy, but if you're not implementing, what are we doing? Why are you even learning? Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below. If you're interested in my coaching program, of course, all the links will be down below. It is going to be opening very soon. I'm very excited about that. Of course, I will let you know when it does. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.